I asked, "What can I do with this box?" Frenek, the stranger, who seemed more a wanderer of forgotten codes than a mere traveler, smiled faintly. His eyes glimmered with the wisdom of 1,000 lines of code, the kind of wisdom that only time and a love for things that once were can provide. "Ah, a question of purpose," he said. "This box is not just a relic, it is a doorway, a tool, a bridge between two worlds." He paused, looking at me with a glint in his eyes. "It doesn't give answers, but it leads you to them." I stared at the gray box in his hands, the faint hum from within calling to something deep inside. There was no obvious button, no grandiose display, just a tiny, quiet green line blinking on the small screen. Ready. You can create with this box. You can write in a language long forgotten, and from that, build things beyond your wildest imagination. You can break, of course. The language it speaks is unforgiving, but it is honest. It won't sugarcoat your mistakes. It will show them in full, glorious detail. And perhaps most of all, Franek added with a slight grin, you can discover something, something you didn't know you were searching for. The weight of the box in my hands seemed to increase, as if it understood what I had just learned. That this was no ordinary journey. It wasn't just a tool for the present, it was a piece of history brimming with the power of those who came before. But there was more. There was something personal about it. The question now was, what would I build? What would I break? And most importantly, what would I discover? I asked, "Where did you find this treasure, old man?" Franek's lips curled into a knowing smile, but there was something more in his eyes now, a gleam of nostalgia, of untold stories waiting to be shared. "Ah," he began, his voice like the rustling of old paper. "This box, this relic, has traveled farther than you can imagine. It wasn't found in some dusty corner of a forgotten attic or abandoned warehouse. No, my friend, it was passed down, from coder to coder, from one who believed in the power of simplicity to another who dreamed of something more." He paused for a moment, running his fingers lightly over the surface of the box, as if feeling the weight of its history. His gaze drifted far beyond the glade, lost in a memory of another time. "I found it many years ago," Frenek continued, his tone soft and distant. "It wasn't handed to me by fate, but by a mentor of mine. An old man, like me. He had an obsession with the old days, the days when we didn't rely on frameworks or libraries to make something work, when it was just us and the raw power of code." He took a deep breath, exhaling slowly as if releasing a piece of his soul with the wind. He told me once, while I was hunched over a flickering terminal, struggling with something I could hardly understand, "The power to create is never lost. It just waits for the right hands to awaken it." Franek's eyes shifted back to mine, and there was a fire in them now. A fire that reflected both the joy and the burden of a coder who has lived through decades of change. This box, this gray, simple thing, it holds the knowledge of an age. I didn't find it by chance. It chose me, just as it will choose you. And when it speaks to you, when you unlock its secrets, you'll understand the true meaning of creation. The air around us seemed to hum with the energy of the box. It was as if the world had paused for a moment, holding its breath, waiting for what would come next. The box in your hands feels heavier now, not just with code, but with the weight of its history. The question remains, will you open it and awaken the code within, or seek more answers from Franek, the keeper of stories and secrets? The choice is yours to make. If you'd like to continue the journey, feel free to let me know. Would you prefer to explore the mysteries of the box or ask Franek more questions about its origins?